Thank you, Tamiko. Good evening, viewers, and thanks for joining the Chooses Regional News. Beginning with news from Trinidad and Tobago. The body of Marissa Edwards has been found 8 days after she was reported missing and 2 days after suspect in her disappearance was discovered dead. The Hunter Search and Rescue Team, HSRT, led by Captain Valance Rambarat and family members, made the discovery around 5:45 p.m. at Brickfield Road, Couva on Monday. Edwards was an administrative clerk at the University of the West Indies Faculty of Medicine. Reports indicated that the woman left her home at John Eli Road, Freeport, to go for drinks with Simeon Rupchand, 51, of Husan Street Bank Village. The two were said to be in a relationship. However, after their outing, Edwards did not return home. Once a report was made, police tracked her cell phone to a gas station around 4 a.m. on September 19. This was where it was last signaled. Rupchand was reported missing on that same date. His body was found in a forested area in Tabaquite on September 24 by the HSRT. Investigations are currently ongoing. News coming out of Barbados. CARICOM member states have been challenged to hold back frank discussions on managed migration to support each other's developmental priorities. Minister of Home Affairs and Information in Barbados, Wilfred Abrahams, threw out the challenge when he addressed a two-day workshop on migration and migration policy in the Caribbean on Thursday at the Radisson Aquatica Resort. The minister said while Barbados was identified as the most densely populated country in the region, Suriname, Guyana, Belize, the Bahamas, and Dominica were recorded as being the least densely populated. He noted that a frank discussion on how to manage migration can support those economies whose growth rate is exponential must be held in this region. Additionally, the minister said that no one should be left behind. Abrahams underscored that the region needed to consider the need for a regional population census to ensure adequate and appropriate resources to advance the CARICOM single market and economy. Failing that, the minister suggested having a harmonized approach to collecting and sharing national data must be developed, so the necessary analysis can be undertaken. And finally, Uruguay's police arrested the head of the president's personal security detail on Monday at the presidential residence for allegedly participating in a scheme to help possibly hundreds of Russian nationals illegally obtain Uruguayan passports. Prosecutor Gabriel Fossati said on Monday night that President Luis Puig's security chief, Alejandro Acetino, was being investigated for participating in a criminal ring that created fake Russian birth certificates that claimed Uruguayan parents. The goal was for the Russians to be able to obtain passports and other official identity documents, she said. According to police sources cited by local media, Astesiano used contacts that allowed him to process the required documentation to acquire passports for the Russians. Many Russians have been leaving their country since Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24, and many more still since President Vladimir Putin announced a partial mobilization on Wednesday. News of the arrest of Astesiano, who was detained shortly after returning to Uruguay from a trip with his sons, appeared to have left the president shaken. Puig promised that prosecutors and police working on the case will be independent, and he denied other reports that Astesiano had a criminal record. Early on Monday, local outlets reported on 20 prior inquiries into the security chief, covering allegations of fraud, misappropriation, and theft, among others. That's all for tonight's regional news. I'm Joel Vogt. Back to you, Tamiko.